Hi, my name is Chris Thomas, welcome to this tutorial. A few weeks ago, myself and Mark Warner put together a tutorial all about FlashMeeting. This can be found at www.iprimary.co.uk and it's tutorial number 7. Today I'm going to show you how to use a replay of a FlashMeeting recording and how you can actually edit a replay file, removing any bits and pieces that you don't want. So to start, I'm going to go ahead and log into FlashMeeting. To do this, the easiest thing to do is to actually click on Book a Meeting, and from here we're looking for the My Events button at the top. This is going to show me all the Flash meetings that I've either booked or take part in. As you can see, I've got a number of Flash meetings listed here, and the one I'm interested in is the Flash Meeting demonstration, recorded on the 27th of May. Now here we've got a number of buttons which we can use. The first button is going to take me to the meeting page, and if I click on this, this will give me access to the minutes from the meeting and also a replay. Let's start by taking a look at the minutes of the meeting. The minutes basically show who was speaking and at what point, and also what chats were taking place, any voting, and also any URLs that were shared during the conversation. This is a good record of the text part of the chat, but it's not actually the replay file. So I'm going to close this window and click on Go to the Replay. Okay, Mark, hopefully you can hear me. So I'm now broadcasting to Mark. So as you can see, it started to replay the Flash meeting. Now along the bottom you can see the blue and red bars. Each of those bars denotes the point at which myself or Mark was actually talking. I'm in blue and Mark is in red. If I wanted to, I could jump straight to a particular piece of the conversation. So for example, if I wanted to see what Mark said in response to my first message, I simply click on his red bar.
Hi there, Chris. How are you?
Hi there, Mark. Please. And as you can see, the meeting plays from that point. I could also click on a point in time in this section here on the right. So for example, if I know that Mark had a particular comment at around 5 minutes that was particularly useful, then I could click on this link here.
This works really well in the classroom as well because it means the children have to speak very.
So this is a really good way of jumping around your Flash meeting replay so that you can quickly go back to particular parts of the conversation. Along the top here we've got different tabs for the different parts of the conversation. So we've got our chat tab which shows any text communications that were going on, also any URLs that were sent between us, but also a list of files, and these were the files that Mark uploaded for me as part of the demonstration, and these are still available now even in the replay. So that's a really good way of archiving any files that were related to the Flash meeting. So that's how you can watch a basic replay of a Flash meeting, but you often find that actually you want to edit the Flash meeting, maybe removing some segments that aren't relevant for everybody, for example the initial greetings or the farewell. So what we can do is we can actually edit the Flash meeting, and we do that from the My Events section. So we find the Flash meeting that we'd like to edit, and we need to click on this button here to edit the replay. When this loads, we can have a look at different sections here. We've got the segments, which represents each of the video files. We could rename the attendees. So for example, if I wanted to change laptop here to a particular name, maybe of a person or a school, we could simply type that name in there. We can also review the chat messages that took place. So if one of these maybe wasn't appropriate to be shared, I could simply de-tick it to turn it off. And this exactly the same with URLs. If there was a website that wasn't relevant to the conversation, then again I could make that invisible. But I'm going to focus really on the segment section. Now I know that in the Flash meeting there was a particular point which wasn't really relevant to everybody to see, and that happened at 8 minutes 11. I'm just going to show you that here. Mark, did you log in as a guest, or did you sign in as an actual, using your details, your login details? So as you can see, I don't really want that in my replay of this Flash meeting, so all I have to do is click on this button here to make it invisible, so that's no longer part of the replay file. Now I know that the 3 conversations that followed also aren't relevant, so I'm going to turn all of those off as well. The other thing you can do is to add some useful annotations, maybe some text that you didn't think of during the Flash meeting, but might be useful at a later date. I'm going to show you how you can do that just from my first video conversation here. By clicking this button. Okay Mark, hopefully you can hear me. So I'm now broadcasting. That will then free him up to reply. Okay, so that's the video file I'd like to add an annotation to, and all I have to do is click in this text box and type it in. And then when I'm happy with it, I click on Add. Obviously, if you make any mistakes with the annotation, you can use these options here to update or delete the annotation. So once we're satisfied that we've made all the changes we'd like to make, all we have to do is click on this button here, the replay, and we can watch our finished Flash meeting. Okay, Mark, hopefully you can hear me. So I'm now broadcasting to Mark and to the laptop machine. As you can see, we've got a new flag that's been added just at the end of my initial greeting. And if we click on that, we can see that it's displaying the annotation that I added. So these annotations can be spaced along your timeline at different points in your conversation. As you can see, there's also a gap in the timeline, and that's at around 8 minutes into the replay. That's because I turned off 4 of those videos because I was having a conversation with Mark that wasn't really relevant to the replay. So that's how we can actually edit a Flash meeting replay file to make it more appropriate for people to use at a later date. If I wanted to use this replay file, maybe to embed it on my school website or in a blog, all I'd have to do is copy and paste this URL just here. Right, that's the end of this tutorial. Thanks very much for watching.